Today in Back On, let's talk about Magma, French band I saw live on the 5th of December of the year 2014 in Célestat. But before we talk about Magma, we'll see the first part of the show, played by Gong. It was a prog rock show with two styles a bit different, psychedelic and jazz for Gong and experimental and jazz for Magma. Gong is a French progressive rock band formed in 1967 by guitarist David Allen, coming from Australia. Inspired by psychedelic rock, the band is famous because of its very special design on trilogy Radio Gnome that started in 1973 with Flying Teapot. The band's design is really fun, with all these gnomes and their flying teapots, design developed on some albums after the trilogy. By the way, during the show, a screen displayed these gnomes with some other clips and other things about Gong's mythology. The band started in 1967 until the departure of David Allen in 1976. Prog and psyche rock in the albums Magic Brothers in 1969, Camembert Electric in 1971 and Continental Circus in 1972, followed by the Radio Gnome trilogy from 1973 to 1974 with Flying Teapot, Angels F and U. A new period starts for the band with the departure of David Allen. The sound changes with Shamal in 1976, a prog influenced by jazz. After Shamal album, Gong will know many faces, with at first Pierre Morland's Gong, with the drummer as leader. In 1976 is Gazeuse, released, a jazz prog rock one, followed in 1978 by Espresso 2, Downwind and Time is the Key in 1979. Pierre Morland's Gong ends in 1981 and the drummer collaborated with other prog artists such as Michael Field and Magma. In parallel with Morland's Gong, singer Gilly Smith creates Mother Gong, when David Allen plays in Planet Gong and then in New York Gong. You'll have understand it's very complicated. I find a schema to illustrate Gong's story. Gong truly reforms and produces Shapeshifter in 1992 and Zero to Infinity in 2000, when Mother Gong continues to produce albums and to go on tour. This album has been followed by the Acid Motherhood album in 2004. Pierre Morland's Gong produces one more album this year, and the drummer died in 2005. Gong, the real one, released 2032 in 2009 and ICU in November 2014. David Allen died in 2015 and wished that Gong musicians continue the adventure with Kavus Torabi, guitarist and singer, as frontman. This lineup is touring and it's the one I saw live, and the show was good. The musicians were very good ones and it was a very impressive first part, and very funny with all the stuff with mythology and Radio Gnome. The star band of this show stops this hilarity immediately, featuring a very serious, progressive and experimental rock. Truly unique. Magma was born in 1969 of Christian Vander's Imaginary. Virtuous drummer, it's one of these musicians that create their own style. Magma's music can more precisely be qualified of Zeuhl, also gathering all the bands that just like Magma play progressive jazz and very experimental music. Zeuhl was mainly developed in France, just like krautrock was in Germany. But where from is the word Zeuhl coming? Well, it's one of the main elements of Magma's music. Christian Vander indeed created its own language, Cobayen, explaining that French and English languages weren't agreed with the music he wanted to play. At first, we are impressed by the colossal work invent a language is. In Magma's mythology, we learn that it's an extraterrestrial language coming from Kobaya planet. Anyway, the language really sounds German. Magma is especially the work of Christian Vander, who worked with a lot of different musicians. Magma's first album has been released in 1970. It's Kobaya, a concept album with long songs talking about humans that quitted Earth to go on Kobaya planet, because Earth was victim of calamities. In 1971 is 1001 centigrade released, album that narrates the arrival of Kobayan people to save the Earth. The same lineup recorded the same year an album under the name of Univeria Sect, with a more conventional jazz prog to make Magma's music more accessible, but it has been very few sold. It's not a Zeuhl album, cause the language is English and not Kobayan. In 73 has Mekanik Kommandoh been released, and it's a famous album of the band. Vurda Ita has been released under the name of Christian Vander, but we see Magma's symbol and we hear Magma's music. Contarcos is released in 74, followed by Hoodoo Voodoo in 76. Unpublished have been published in 77, and Magma's 7th album is released in 78. In 1984 has Mercy been released, and Magma isn't very active until 92. The band produced Mekanik Kommandoh in 89, but it has been composed in 73. It features a 48-long song. Fans had to wait until 2004 to listen to a new album. KA, or Contarcos Anteria, is an unpublished album. In 2009 was Magma's 10th album released, and the band is since 2010 very active with Felicitator's album in 2012 and Ria Zalitak in 2014. In January 2015 has the band's 14th album been released, Zlactans. Magma's modern compositions use more and more often French and English lyrics. Christian Vander explained it made its music more and more rich. Well, you have understand now, even if you doesn't listen to prog and experimental rock, this band is truly unique. Christian Vander is an authentic genius, and his music presents a very rich universe with an original language created by the drummer. Magma also produced a lot of live albums in 75, 81 and since the 90s. The band too produced DVD revisiting all its era, Epoch 1, 2, 3 and 4. Anyway, Magma is still active, just like the last album Show It, and the show was very impressive too. This concludes this Back On episode. Magma isn't popular music at all, and prog is not for everyone, but you should get interest for these bands. See you soon for another video!
Tout au fond de la cour, elle ne peut plus rouler, mais c'est là que je fais l'amour. Il pousse de la mousse et des glissimos sur le volant. La douane est